you very much. Let's have John Lamartro was playing the piano earlier today. That's a round of applause for him. He did a great job as usual. I'd like to introduce those people at the head table that are not speaking today. Mayor Dan Drew from the city of Middletown. Hold your applause to the end. Jay Polk, our next year's chairman from Willowbrook Spirits. President Toro from Central Connecticut State University. President Bertolino from Southern Connecticut State University. Steve Minkler, lead campus administrator from Middlesex Community College. And Ann Evans from the Department of Commerce. Let's have a round of applause for all of them. Great job. And one person, as you know, has been an unbelievable supporter of our chamber since really I've taken it, not since I've taken it over, because she's younger than that, but over the last many years, and that's our unbelievable Lieutenant Governor. She is, I think, the finest dedicated public servant that I have seen in my 35 years here with the Chamber in the state of Connecticut, Nancy Wyman. Today's a big day for us in the fact that this is a very important breakfast meeting that we have, because we're recognizing our business education partnerships and the Hal Kaplan Middletown Mentor Recognition Breakfast, which is so important to us. We have hundreds of volunteers spread throughout Middlesex County that are helping those youngsters in education, which we feel is very important because that is our future workforce. But to start up today, I want our chairman, Rick Moran, to come on up. He has done an unbelievable job with new membership coming into the chamber, with the amount of activities we have. He's been loyal and a dedicated chairman, and I'm very, very proud of him. Rick Moran.
Great. Thank you, Larry. Welcome to our April meeting. I just want to thank Liberty Bank for bringing us the Business and Education Forum this morning. Looking forward to what Mark Ojakian has to tell us. And with that, we have our usual on your tables is the blue sheet with the state and local officials. They're seated at your table. Please thank them for what they do. And we have quite a few achievements and new members this morning. We have. Actually, if the new members are in attendance, please stand up so that we can recognize you and hold your applause to the end. We have Greenleaf Advancement out of Guilford, Friar Architecture out of Farmington, Motley Digital East Hampton, One Digital Health and Benefits Farmington, and Small Victories Wellness Services PLLC out of Middletown. Have a round of applause for our new members. And we have awards and congratulations. The first two are special to me, as there are two accountants that are with my firm, Gilmartin, DePiro, and Sokolowski, and that's we have two promotions. We have Dylan Stump was promoted to supervisor, and Dan Slevsky who was promoted to senior accountant. Congratulations. And next we have Security 101 out of New England. They were voted 2017 #1 office nationally, actually. And then we have Dante Fazina, who I saw here earlier with Key Bank. Congratulations on being named the 2018 Good Guy Award, which that's part of the golf tournament that you'll hear about that's coming up at the end of the week. And Don DeVivo, we have a couple announcements. Individually, he was named the chair of the American Bar Association, and then his company, DATCO Inc., received the prestigious International Motor Coach Group Safety Award. So congratulations to all the recipients. Great. Thank you.
As was mentioned, we have a lot of events this week, but just to show you what our chamber is all about, because these events this week are just part of the many, many events that our chamber runs. We have 41 meetings and events in the month of May coming up. This week alone, we have this breakfast today with over 400 in attendance. Tomorrow, and Tommy will be talking about this in a bit, we have 1,400 students from all over Middlesex County coming to Wesleyan University with 287 presenters for a career fair as we bus kids in from all of the area high schools. On Friday, we have our golf tournament sold out of event for 144 golfers. And I'll dial back to 41 events this month. And that just proves what an unbelievable staff I have at the Middlesex County Chamber of Commerce. They are phenomenal. Most chambers run 1 or 2 big events a year. We're running 1, 2, 3 a week, and they just do a great job. So let's have a round of applause for my staff over there. There's been a lot of articles in the paper over the last week, and we're really honored that they're here with us today. The Xavier High School engineering team, which is right over here to my right and be your left. This team has won the national championship of the Real World Design Challenge event in Washington, D.C. And then on top of that, they won that over a team from the Mariana Islands, and that brought them into the international competition, and they won that over a team from China. This is an unbelievable recognition, and I'd like to have the members please stand. We have certificates for them. Congratulations. Also, to everyone at Xavier, congratulations, and a big thanks also to Pratt & Whitney, as they have been mentors for this program. And as you know, Pratt is an unbelievable contributor to our chamber. Next, we have a small event coming up in about a month, the Travelers Golf Tournament, and Nathan Grube is with us today. It's the premier event in the state of Connecticut, brings more people than any other event, but more important for all of us, it's a quality of life issue. People come here, enjoy Connecticut, and hopefully come back. Nathan Grube.
Thank you, Larry. Before I say a few words, I have to say, Nancy, I can tell how much Larry likes you because I've never heard anybody, when they walk up, say, Nancy Wyman, woo! So Larry, I don't know if you realize you did that, but it kind of startled me. So he's definitely excited you're here, Nancy. Mark, thank you for being here. I've known Mark for a few years in various capacities, and one thing I think that has always been something that you've done is push the envelope, ask questions that need to be asked. You're not afraid to try new things, and that's how you achieve, and that's how you succeed, and that's how you turn the corner and you turn something into something new. And we try to do that at the tournament, and we share that with you, that we try to push the envelope, ask questions, never let the status quo be okay. You've heard Andy Bissett say that multiple times. The status quo is unacceptable for this tournament. So this year there's a lot of new things coming in 48 days. Somebody quizzed me on that when I walked in. Like, they caught me right as I came in. I was kind of fixing my tie. How many days? It kind of took me off. 48. But it's right around the corner. New things this year. We have 3 new venues that we've started this year for the fans. For your general admission ticket, you're going to be able to go in and actually see hospitality for the first time, air-conditioned, climate-controlled. The fan zone has Wi-Fi and air conditioning this year. We didn't build a dome. There's actually air conditioning units that are out there. But just we have a new parking lot that we secured. We're just trying to make the tournament better every single year for you, because you're going to be out there, your friends are going to be out there, your colleagues are going to be out there, your competitors are going to be out there, your future clients will be there. So we want to make the ticket to the tournament as valuable as possible. And like Larry said, this is a huge commercial for our region. On CBS and NBC, when that shows up on the broadcast, what you see about our region, it tells a story. And when you see the powerful impact of what a community can do with a tour event, it sends an amazing story. So thank you for being part of, I think, the biggest commercial that we have right now in the next few weeks. And it's going to be a great year. The player field is going to continue to get better. We have a few more announcements over the next few weeks, a few more top 10 guys, top 20 guys. So I promise you, you will not be disappointed in what we have in store. So thank you very much for your support, and we will see you very soon.
Next, it gives me a great honor to introduce Tom Serra, who is the chair of our Business Education Partnership Advisory Council. This is made up of business people, superintendents of schools, principals that are really working to guarantee a future workforce for all of our businesses here in Middlesex County. And Tommy's volunteer hours that he spends on this, along with our scholarship committee with his wife, is just phenomenal. Tom Serra.
Thank you, Coach. This is my speech, and he says, "It's what?" How many minutes, Coach? Don't give me the hook. I've been involved with the Coach and the Chamber since 1989 on the Business Education Committee, and this career fair was a dream relative to our committee, and now it's in a 13th year with 1,400 students coming to the hockey rink at Wesleyan University. And I want to thank a number of individuals that make this happen, where the individuals from the schools in our county can come and see the various careers that we have available. But I'd like to, if you look at what's on your tables, the sponsors, Eversource and Pratt & Whitney. Without them, we could not do this. Wesleyan University, Jouette's Center for Community Partnerships, providing the use of the Spurrier Snyder Ice Rink, Freeman Athletic Center. And the venue is going to be held tomorrow with, again, 235 presenters, 135 presenters, 235 individuals there presenting, and about approximately 1,400 students that come there. I'd like to as well thank Liberty Bank, supplying bags and pencils for the Career Expo. The infographics, I thank Wei Sen and Patty Raymond from Middlesex Community College. The transportation, Trent Wright, Middlesex Community College. Remember, all this is volunteer. Food and refreshments, the donations from American Eagle Financial Credit Union, Ernest Dining Services, Lyman Farms, Triple Springs Spring Water Company. Also, I'd like to mention the culinary arts students from Vinyl Technical High School that helped with the hospitality table. Again, it's 1,400 students. Now, what I'd like to do right now is introduce the individuals that are on the committee. Will all the individuals on the Business Education Partnership Committee please stand up and be recognized? Please stand up and be recognized. Now, Donna Finkelstein, which was the Career Consortium head, has retired, and we had to have individuals take over. So I'd like to specifically thank John Mahoney, Superintendent of the Cromwell Public Schools, and in particular, Krista Karch, the Superintendent of Cromwell Public Schools. Stand up, Krista. She took over for making this successful. Michael Fienza, again, another individual that helps out. Caitlin Sullivan, Fremont Guidance Counselor, East Hampton. Rosario Rizzo has been on the committee since 1989 with me as well as Mary Ann. Diana Martinez, Jouette City Community Partnership with Wesleyan. And Rhea Dredzenko, Civic Engagement Fellow, Wesleyan. Again, tomorrow, you should come and see at the Wesleyan hockey rink with 1,400 students carousing through approximately 135 careers to see how great it is to see all these individual students asking questions of various careers. So I want to thank the committee, and I thank the Chamber for its support, and I thank all the sponsors. Thank you.
We have another volunteer base, runs anywhere from 75 to 100 mentors every year in the city of Middletown, and then we have another group that's working up in the town of Cromwell. These are business people that give up their time and energy, that are dedicated to young people that need some help. This is another unique program that most chambers don't do, but we feel this is very important to deal with these young students that need an influence to help them as they move forward through their life. So it gives me a great honor now to introduce Cheryl Kraft, who's the committee chair of the Hal Kaplan Middletown Mentor Program.
Thank you, Larry. Good morning, chamber members and mentors. I want to take this opportunity to thank and recognize the wonderful mentors who are part of a unique partnership between the Chamber and the Middletown Board of Education. I also wish to thank the major funding sponsors, Liberty Bank Foundation, Middle Oak, Middletown Board of Education, Seasons Federal Credit Union, Connecticut Valley Hospital for hosting the year-end picnic, and Friends of the Hal Kaplan Middletown Mentor Program. As we celebrate 26 years of mentoring, I ask that the mentors, committee members that are present, to stand and to be recognized. I also want to thank Jennifer DeKine and Sylvia Webb for the continued dedication. Mentors, committee members, please stand. I encourage all of you to consider mentoring a child. It is a gift that will last a lifetime. Thank you.
I just want to say, before introducing Chandler, I want to mention a couple of things. First of all, our next breakfast, as you know, is with Dave Benedict, the athletic director from the University of Connecticut on May 14th. And immediately afterwards, we have a co-sponsorship with RIFA, which is going to be an event on real estate, which will be a very, very productive workforce issue after that, and it is called Is Now a Good Time. We're expecting a real big crowd at that. And then we have another event coming up in May. On May 30th, we have Joanne Lippman, best-selling author and former editor-in-chief of USA Today and USA Today Network, for a member luncheon and book signing. Before introducing Chandler, who will introduce Mark Ojakian, I'd just like to say a couple words about Mark. I got to know Mark when he was really working with Nancy Wyman in the controller's office. I then started a relationship with him when I became chair of the University of Connecticut, and he was chief of staff to Governor Malloy. And we dealt with Rochelle Rubin and myself on an ongoing situation in Susan Herbst with Mark when he was in that office. There's a lot of discussion going on about Mark Ojakian in the media and other areas right now. But I just want to make a public statement how I feel about this individual. I've been around for 35 years in higher education, a chair of both systems. There is no one more dedicated, there is no one more committed, there is no one more honest, and there's no one more not afraid to make tough decisions in very hard economic times. Mark, I want to tell you I'm proud of you. You're a good man, and you're working to make that system a great system. And I think all of us should applaud that. And now to introduce my friend, Chandler Howard. There is no one more dedicated to the state of Connecticut, to Middlesex County, and to our great chamber than Chandler Howard. He is an unbelievable leader. I was very proud to be on the Liberty Board, dealing with him as we moved Liberty Bank forward. We have unbelievable volunteers on the from Liberty Bank on every charitable function, from Waterbury to New London to Willimantic and here in Middlesex County. Mary Ann Perotti is an unbelievable example of that. Chip Painter is another unbelievable volunteer that is active with us. Amy Craffa, who I've dealt with the wonderful renderings of what Liberty is doing over in the city of Middletown, a 90,000 square foot building that's being renovated, that was the old Weekly Reader building that has been vacant for many years, and they are going to put 400 employees in that to stay in Middletown. That is Chandler Howard. Liberty has expanded, Liberty has grown, but Liberty has never, ever forgot their roots, which is here in Middlesex County. Chandler, I want to thank you for your leadership, your dedication, most important to me, your wonderful friendship. Chandler Howard.
Boy, how can you not feel good after that? I'm telling you. Well, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and I want to thank Larry and his staff for putting this on. They always do such a terrific job. And Governor, thank you for taking the time to be here as well, and to the rest of the head table. You know, it's a Monday morning. I like to start with something a little bit positive, and I heard this story about that I'd like to share with you. This story about a positive farmer and a negative farmer. They were both out in their field one day plowing, and it started to rain. The positive farmer said, "Thank you, Lord, for the water. It's going to be a wonderful watering of our crops." Of course, the negative farmer said, "Yeah, but you know, it's going to rain too much, and the roots are going to rot, and it's going to kill all of our crops." The next day, they were out in the field, and the sun was shining. The positive farmer said, "Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful day. The sun is going to shine and help our plants grow." Of course, the negative farmer said, "Yeah, but it's going to get too hot and it's going to scorch our plants and kill them." So the next day the positive farmer decided to take the other farmer out into his boat to go hunting for birds. He wanted to show off his new bird dog. And they get out in the boat, and the positive farmer shoots down a bird, says to the negative farmer, "Watch this." His dog jumps out, runs across the top of the water, grabs the bird, runs back in, drops it at the farmer's feet. Of course, the negative farmer says, "Should have known it. That dog can't even swim." Anyway, it really is a pleasure to be here this morning. And as I said, this is one of my favorite breakfasts, not only because of the wonderful introduction that you always get when you're here, but also because this breakfast is focused on the tie between business and education. And we all know that education is the cornerstone of our success. Education is critical to the prosperity and the quality of life of our businesses, our families, our state, and our nation. And that's why businesses like Liberty Bank play a vital role in ensuring children and their parents are equipped with the tools they need to succeed. We support programs ranging from early literacy initiatives to mentoring and tutoring for elementary school students, to career and college exploration, youth employment, scholarships for seniors going on to higher education. We invest in programs around parent leadership, engagement training, adult education, employment skills training, all focused on various types of education. And I do want to say I'm really proud that for 20 years, our foundation has awarded over $4.5 million to support various forms of education throughout our footprint. Larry mentioned one other investment that we're making right here in Middletown, and that's our new corporate headquarters. I hope you take the time to stop and take a look. We're really excited about it. It's over at 245 Long Hill Road. We'll be moving in hopefully on September 21st. That's when we're supposed to get our CO. It's a 90,000 square foot building. It sits on 23 acres. It's just a beautiful space. We've added lights and windows all around the entire facilities. We've got all sorts of modern accoutrements like adjustable height workstations, lots of conference rooms. We'll have a fitness center, a cafeteria. We'll have 2 outdoor patios, walking trails, a light harvesting system, all kinds of high-end security, and much, much more. We're really excited about it, and we will have an open house that you'll all be invited to, but until then, if you take a look at the renderings on your way out, hopefully you'll get excited as I am about this new corporate headquarters. And Larry, I was over there earlier this week. We have 120 contractors working in that building. So not only are we taking a building that was really didn't have any use and putting it to good use, but we're also hiring a lot of people in the process. And for those of you that are concerned about our historic Main Street building, we will still be there. We're keeping our main office. That building will remain and will be filled with all of our customer-facing employees. So that's my Liberty Bank commercial, in case you didn't know that. At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Mark Ojakian. He became president of the Connecticut State Colleges and University System in September of 2015 and oversees the system with 17 institutions serving over 85,000 students and offering over 1,300 degree and certificate programs. Right from the start, President Ojakian had a vision. First, his goal was to reshape the Connecticut State CSCU as a vital and stable organization that will support and expand affordable access for students from all backgrounds. Second, he wanted CSCU to be seen as a leading organization that strives to produce educated and enlightened graduates who go on to contribute to Connecticut's growth. And finally, he aspired to make CSCU an organization that provides highly skilled workers to support the expansion and vibrancy of businesses and industries in the state. His vision, along with strong leadership, has resulted in raising awareness of the critical role the CSCU system plays in Connecticut. President Ojakian also expanded and increased funding for the programs offered at the 7 advanced manufacturing technical centers across the state. Through his deep commitment and the hard work of more than 350 faculty members, the system has launched a program to provide seamless transfer pathways from the community colleges to a state university in 25 program areas. Additionally, President Ojakian has promoted inclusion and diversity in the CSCU system by instituting policies in support of transgender students, advocating on behalf of undocumented students, and promoting second chance opportunities. I've got about 4 more pages here to read, but I'll hold on those. And please join me in giving a warm welcome to today's featured speaker, Mark E. Ojakian.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, and good morning. Chandler, thank you for that introduction. Larry, my friend, thank you. I should have called you earlier this week and got a little words of encouragement, but you've always been such a genuine person and a friend to me for a number of years. And your friendship means more to me than actually being here this morning. But I am honored to be here this morning. To the head table, to my dear friend, the Lieutenant Governor, who I've known for many, many years and will continue to know for many, many years. Thank you for your mentorship and your friendship to me. I want to thank all of my colleagues for being here, like the presidents, teams from their institutions, my team, who's worked very, very hard. Thank you all for being here this morning. And I have to tell you, this is just really cool for me. The first time I came to a chamber breakfast, I was staff to Nancy Wyman. And I stood in the back. And I ate my eggs and my bacon and watched in the back of the room. Then I became chief of staff to the governor. And I moved to a front table. And I got to sit with my dear friend, Rochelle Rubin, and we would sometimes get in trouble for talking during the speeches, but it was an honor to sit in the front. Then I get asked to be president of the CSU system, and now I'm on the dais. Now I'm speaking. Larry, the next position's over here, so I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. And I also want to tell you, before I get started, that this is the first time I've worn a tie in 5.5 months. And I did it for you. I had rotator cuff surgery 5.5 months ago and haven't been able to tie a tie. So I got up 20 minutes earlier this morning to kind of navigate the collar and the tie. I did remember how to tie it, and here I am with a tie on this morning. But it is great to be here this morning. You know, a little bit about who we are as a system before we get into some other things that have been, I think, in the news lately. As Larry mentioned and Chandler mentioned, we consist of 17 institutions in a system that was formed in 2011. And when the system was first formed, as now, there was still, and continues to be, a lot of controversy about, was this the best path forward? Should we take 17 institutions, put them into a system, and move our students forward? And I think what you've heard from Chandler this morning, some of the things that we've done are evidence that a system can work with the right team in place. And I mean the collective team in 17 institutions. And I think a leader that I've tried to be, one that listens, one that works with people, and one that tries to do the right thing. We do have 84,000 students in our system that are in degree programs that earn credit, and about 30 or 35,000 students that are in non-degree, non-credit programs. So about 120 students come through our system every year. 60% of those students are women. Almost 40% of those students are minority. And I would tend to say that about 60 to 65% are first generation students. 96% of our students are from Connecticut. 96%. We educate Connecticut's citizens. 75% of our students stay in Connecticut, work in Connecticut, and have a job within the first 9 months of graduating from school. And we employ 14,000 people throughout the state of Connecticut. So it's a big system, incredible talent, incredible faculty, incredible staff. Everybody works incredibly hard to do what's best for our students. And we've recently entered into a partnership with Connecticut Public TV and have produced a documentary to help market ourselves to guidance counselors, to parents, to people in the state of Connecticut. It's on our website, it's on public television's website. You can see little excerpts as you enter or exit the building today, but it showcases our students through the eyes of guidance counselors. and tells a compelling story for why students should go to one of our institutions, not incur debt, and graduate within a reasonable period of time and have a job here in the state of Connecticut. And as you know, many of our students just don't have the luxury of going to school and going home. They're juggling many family responsibilities. They work. They have children. They're older. There's an expectation that many of our students will contribute to their overall household income. We have gay and lesbian, bisexual, transgender students. We have Muslim students. We have students of color. They all deserve the education that we strive to give them. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about the partnerships that we've developed with Middlesex County, because I think it's been a very productive relationship. You know, in fact, the hotel that we're having this breakfast in this morning has a partnership with Central. I don't know if you knew that, Dr. Toro, but they have been a loyal sponsor to Central's Blue Devils athletic programs for many years, and we hope they continue to do that in the future. And as a matter of fact, A&A Office Systems here in Middletown also has been a loyal sponsor to Central's athletics programs. Middlesex Community College, which is led now very capably by Dr. Minkler, works closely to work with local employers to make sure that its faculty, curriculum, and students align with workforce needs. Dozens of members of this chamber sit on advisory committees that are connected to the college's career programs, because we need to be flexible in working with you to develop curriculum that meets your needs. Nearly 100 businesses and agencies host student interns from Middlesex Community College and oftentimes hire them as employees once they graduate. Now, I've been to a couple of programs that are in partnership with Middlesex County recently, and I was just so impressed with them, I want to just share with a couple of them. The Piper Olson Veterinary Hospital helped build the college's veterinary technology degree program. In fact, without Piper Olson, the program might not exist at all. Students take all of their clinical lab courses at the state-of-the-art veterinary medical facility, which they recently expanded to include an education wing specifically designated to the college's program. Piper Olson employees, as part of their regular job duties, help teach students essential skills through an innovative Academy of Clinical Instructors system created by the hospital and the college. If you haven't been there, it's an impressive facility. Please go visit. Also, since 1970, Middlesex Hospital and Middlesex Community College have offered a radiology degree program, which was recently expanded to include post-primary certifications in computed tomography and mammography. Like the Vet Tech program, students take all of their clinical lab courses at the hospital. And today, nearly 2/3 of the hospital's imaging staff have graduated from Middlesex Community College. That program is led by somebody who's worked very closely with me on a number of initiatives, Professor Judy Wallace, who's the coordinator of that program. Eversource is working with the college, the chamber, and workforce partners to launch a natural gas technician training program in September. This 12-week, 90-hour course will prepare students for employment at Eversource and local contractors to support building out the state's rapidly growing natural gas distribution system. And we continue to improve and try to do better. It was mentioned that we now have 7 advanced manufacturing programs in the state with a 98% placement rate once students complete the program, and even a second chance Pell program in the prisons. One of the most inspiring commencements I ever attended was behind bars. 5 students graduated with their certificates. The class speaker had been in for 25 years. His daughter was at the commencement, his daughter was born after he went to prison. In fact, 3 of those students were Honor Society members. 3 have been released since then and have jobs in the community. And it's a great testament to what we do across of our system. And in this fall, Middlesex Community College will reboot their manufacturing program by bringing the expertise of Asnuntuck Community College to Middlesex County and leveraging Asnuntuck's relationship with Pratt & Whitney and other companies in the aerospace supply chain. Now, I want to talk a little bit about probably what's on everybody's minds. When I became president of the system, it became abundantly clear to me that given the resources we had and were projected to have in the future, we were not going to be able to continue to sustain business as usual. Going to the legislature and just asking for money because we deserved it, when we were competing with many other interests for a limited piece of the pie, was just not an option. Sure, we could advocate for more funding, but the likelihood that we would just be granted carte blanche dollars was not something that actually was going to happen. And as I looked at the projections and saw that since 2015, the amount of state support had declined by $61 million. It's a lot of money. It's an incredible amount of money. And the projections for the next 10 years did not look good as well. So under the board's direction, we moved forward to develop what I continue to believe is the right path forward. And that was our Students First initiative. It had 2 parts. The first part was, in a system of 17 institutions, weren't there things that we could do to really be a system, to leverage expertise, to become more effective and efficient in the way that we spent dollars, in areas like human resources and technology, in areas like institutional research and financial aid processing, purchasing. Do we need to purchase 17 different ways at 17 different institutions? Made sense to me, worth the conversation. Second piece of this was, in our community college system, where 60% of the funding comes from the state, and that funding continues to decline, we had some choices to make. The choices were simple. Would we continue to provide the same level of administration around 12 institutions in the state the size of Connecticut, and continue to have our student services decline? As a matter of fact, our accreditors noted that our financial position did not look good, and they were concerned about the level of student services that were being offered to our students. Libraries closed on weekends. Whole campuses sometimes closed on weekends. Career centers having 1 or 1.5 people part-time, sometimes at best. Our academic advisors, who do an incredible job, there weren't enough of them to meet with students and help guide them on the pathway to complete their education in a timely fashion. Because if you don't complete in a timely fashion, it costs you more money. Okay? So we came up with a plan to consolidate the administration under one college to make sure that we kept all of the locations open. Our students don't have cars. Our students, in many cases, don't have childcare. Our students have to go from class to work. So to penalize them because of our inability to change our leadership culture was not something I was willing to do. A student might not be able to get 12 miles down the road to another community college campus. Should they be left behind? Should they be left to work a minimum wage job? I don't think so. I don't think so. So I continue to believe that this effort, called Students First for a reason, continues to move forward. Now, did we have a bump in the road? Absolutely. More like a boulder. I like to say, I think Larry, being a former coach, will appreciate that. You know, after going a year down the path we were told to go down, they not only moved the goalpost, they changed the field. So now instead of a home game, it's now an away game. So I'll make it very clear here, despite calls for my resignation, I will not be resigning. I continue to believe that working with all of the people in our system who are well-intentioned, hardworking, smart people, we can move this forward. It may take a little longer or come in another variation, but I think we owe all of our students our ability to try. You know, we're poised next year in our colleges, under the best budget that's being considered, to end the year with a $31 million deficit. I'm up at the legislature. I think the legislators that are in the room will tell you, I'm up there talking to appropriations chairs and leaders to tell them that if we don't get some help, we have some other difficult choices in the short term. And I don't want to have to make those choices. I don't want to have to raise tuition to a level where students will no longer be able to afford to go to school. I don't want to close campuses, which will disadvantage students. But as many of you in the room know, you have to pay your bills. You have to pay your bills. And so when your expenses are higher than the revenue that's coming in, you have a couple choices. You can retool the way you do business, or you can choose to increase the price of your products or goods and services and lose your customers. I want to keep the customers and continue to provide them with the highest quality of education that we can possibly do. So I'm willing to work with anybody to get this done. What I won't do is pay attention to people who heckle from the sidelines. You're going to be part of the solution, or you're not. Leadership, I think, requires tough decisions, but a good leader, as I've tried to be, listens and learns. You know, I've traveled this state every week, going to many, many colleges and universities and meeting with many students. And the most enjoyable part of my job is meeting with the students, understanding what their dreams are, but also understanding what the obstacles are that prevent them from achieving those dreams. And I will continue to do that. As I look at all these young people here today, you know, I have a grandson that's about to turn 13. Yes, I know I'm getting older, Lieutenant Governor. And I look at him and I look at these students, and you know, they are our future. They deserve us working as hard as we can for them. This isn't about me. Somebody asked me this week, how do you feel? Are you disappointed? And is this a personal loss? And I said, this isn't about me. This isn't about me. This is about all of the students who go to our institutions, who struggle, our veterans who come back to school, our homeless students who find a way to come to school, our students in foster care, our grandmothers. We have a grandmother who lived in her car while she went to school and got her bachelor's degree last year. These are the stories that inspire me, and I think inspire everybody that works on our campuses to do better. So I'm going to continue to move forward. I'm going to continue to do what I believe is in the best interest of the students that we have an obligation to serve. And I'll continue to move forward. So before I leave the dais, or if you want to ask questions, so I noticed that every month there's some UConn person up here. And I get why, right? And now I say next month is the athletic director, we've had the baseball coach, and every time somebody from UConn, and I actually love UConn, and I have a great relationship with President Herbst and Rochelle Rubin, and worked very closely with them on Next Generation Connecticut. We're not competitive. There's a place for all of us, and we need to work together for all of public higher education in the state of Connecticut. But every time somebody's up here, right, they get a hat, they get a sweatshirt, it says UConn, there's a Husky here, there's a Husky there. Well, the competitive nature of my personality said to me this morning, I need to outdo them a little bit. So this is just one of 17 gifts that we brought to Larry. The others are down there, but we have 17. The 17 colleges have contributed a piece of swag, I like to call it, to give in appreciation for all of the hard work that Larry has done, not only for UConn, but people forget that he was chairman of the board of the CSU system as well. So since we're in Middlesex County, this is a Middlesex Community College Bear, but we have 16 more things for you to have. Okay. Thank you.
16, okay. I'll have my office, 17, my office will be full. Thank you very much, Mark, for those remarks. As all of us know, in the business community knows that decisions have to be made and you have to go forward. But as you know, I'm truly committed to higher education. I believed in it when I was at CSU, when I first went on the board in 1983. I'm more strongly supportive of higher education today, after serving both with CSU and the University of Connecticut. Because without a strong higher education system, that's our community colleges, the 4 universities, part of the Board of Regents and the University of Connecticut, our state will slip fast because they are the ones, all of them together, providing the future workforce for the state of Connecticut. With these young students here today, a lot of them will be going to either the community colleges, Southern, Central, Western, or Eastern, or UConn. They will be educated in an excellent, excellent way. And they will move into the business community to make Connecticut stronger than it is today. For that, I congratulate all of the people here from your system, and I congratulate you for your leadership, and thank all of you here today from our chamber for your support of both higher education and education in general. Have a great day. Sun always shines in Middlesex County.